kitchen. Today I'm going to be making apple and Frangipan roses. They're absolutely lovely. They look pretty, beautiful with ice cream. Anyway, as you can see, I've already started doing some prep. Now I'm using 4 apples, just eating apples, for this recipe. I've already halved and cored my apples in preparation for this. All I need to do now is put them in water with the juice of a lemon. Now I cheated and used this sort of lemon and it was 2 really good squirts. That will stop these apples from turning brown. All you need to do then is cut the apples into slices of about 2 millimeters thickness and pop them straight into the pan. Because what we're going to do is simmer these, and we just want these apples to be soft and bendy. We don't want them to go to mush. We want to literally make them a little bit bendy. While my apples are simmering at the back there, I'm going to make the Frangipan for the middle. So here I have my butter, sugar, and I'm just going to beat that now until it comes together and is a little bit soft and fluffy. Once your butter and sugar have come together, we're going to add to that 1 egg. There we go. Here I have ground almonds. Now my ground almonds have still got the skins on. I don't mind that because it's going inside my pastry. And it's actually quite good for you, it's good roughage. I've got 2 tablespoons of flour going in and about a teaspoonful of almond essence. There we go. That's all we need. Now I'm just going to mix this until it's all combined. And there we go. That's my Frangipan all ready to go. Well, my apples have softened down nicely, and as you can see they've just got a little tiny bend to them. That's all we want. I've got some of my homemade apricot jam here that I'm going to use on the pastries. A brush, 2 pastry cutters, and my Frangipan I've put into piping bags. I'm all set to go now. So my first job is to roll out my pastry. Now I'm using my homemade rough puff pastry for this. You can use shop-bought puff pastry, that's not an issue. I've also got a selection of things to cook these in. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my pastry rolled out. Now I want this sort of fairly thin, but at the same time not too thin. You want it about 10 inches across, and as long as you like, because we're going to use the across for these. So first thing I'm going to do is take one of my apple slices, because I want to measure how big they are, and then I'm going to cut across so it's double the size of my apple. Here we go. Then I'm just going to make a little mark in the middle because I'm not very good at piping. And we're going to have to do that in a moment. First thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of jam, apricot jam on. Then I'm going to use my pastry brush to just paint it along. I've not sieved this, I don't need to. All those little bits have been nice in this. Okay. Now I'm going to take my Frangipan and I'm going to try and pipe as best I can along that edge there. Ooh. Keeping it just above the pastry line. Now my apples, I'm just going to take some slices of apple and I'm going to push those into that Frangipan all the way down. Here we go. Bit at a time. Oh, we've broken an apple there, but I'm sure it'll be fine because that's going to be in the middle. There we go. There we go. And one more, I think. There. Or half of one. You just want to get to the end, that's all. So that can go there like that. Now, I'm going to fold this over. Left enough room there, haven't I? Making sure that that apple stays where it's supposed to. And I'm going to seal that end. Just work your way down, keeping your apple there. And just turn that edge over so that it contains most of your stuff. You can always push it about once it's folded over, it's not a problem. Just make sure it's pushed down. There we go. Right, I'm going to seal that end there. Glint my bit of apple. Here we go. Now, I start rolling inwards like this. Ooh, making sure your apple stays where it's supposed to. You can always push it down. There we go. We go in. Beautiful. Look at this. And then I'm going to seal that end there. I've put a little bit of oil on here because I don't want it sticking. Then all I've got to do is pick that up and plump it in. One done. Now you can do smaller ones of these, and you can do these in tart cases or whatever they're called, I can't remember, bun cases. So, same thing. Ooh. Might roll that a little bit. If you think you've cut it a tad short, like I just did there, just roll it a bit more. It's not going to cause a problem. There we are. So, little tiny bit of jam along the middle. That just gives it a little bit of glue there. Frangipan, I may have cut this hole a tad big. Come on, you can do it. Bit of Frangipan, and I'm gonna, doesn't matter if I dot that, there we go. I'm gonna use my pastry thing to just spread that a tad. Right, in goes my apple. Another bit of apple. Another bit of apple, because I've got enough to do the end. Now, as long as these are bendy, it should be fine. Now I want to oil just a little sprinkling of oil on these, because the last thing we need to do is not be able to get them out. So here we go. I'm going to pull this up. Like this. Beautiful. And then seal that edge, start my rolling. Ooh, how pretty do these look? Stand it up and seal. There. They look beautiful, and then I'm going to put that in my tart tin. Like this. I quite like the bigger ones. Well, here are my little roses, all ready to go in the oven. Now I'm going to put these in the oven, in my Ninja, and I'm going to cook these on 200 degrees for around 25 minutes. But I'm going to keep an eye on them, because what I want is for that pastry to be lovely and cooked and golden. I'll see you when they're done. Well, here are my cooked tarts. You've got a couple of options now of how to serve these. I like this lovely broken sugar, and I think that's going to look really pretty on these. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each. There we go. And hopefully this will work. My tea strainer, just to dust a little bit of icing sugar over those, and they're going to be ready to go. Now, how gorgeous do they look? I'm very, very pleased with those, and they will taste delicious. I've got a couple here, as you can see, that didn't quite go right. It happens. But these are good for a taste test, aren't they? So I'm going to put a little bit of icing on the top of that. Not that you really need it. A little bit of icing on the top. Oh, and it's hidden a multitude of sins. There you go. Beautiful. Nothing further to do than to actually taste these now. Very pleased with how the bigger ones came out. And the pastry. Looks beautiful. And I've got to tell you, oh my god, they do taste good. I bet there's a safer one for my husband. Well, I honestly don't know what else to tell you. They're delicious, and it's one of the easiest recipes I've done here. You can make your own puff pastry. I've done rough puff pastry, and I do have a video for it, as I said earlier, and they've come out superb. I am so pleased with those. Well, if you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe to see me making more delicious, cost-effective food. Thank you for watching.